gonna go take a peek at this property, and as I'm going through it, I'm just gonna show you what I would look for in just a general walkthrough. What's going on, guys? This is Chandler, and I'm just driving over to a property that Z is selling. He's the one I interviewed a while back, and I actually met him because he had 2 fourplexes for sale. Now, since then, one of those fourplexes has actually sold, but the other one is still for sale. And at the time, I didn't think that the deal was going to be great, but the market has just gotten crazy, and he's still willing to sell it to me for what he was willing to do originally. What's changed is I just sold a property in Rexburg that I'd bought for $215,000, did a ton of work on it, and then ended up selling it for $275,000. And so we also had depreciation on that because we owned it for a year or two. And I didn't want to get stuck with all those taxes. So we're gonna 1031 exchange from that property into this property. And it's really cool because that property was $215,000. This fourplex I'm looking at is actually $300,000. And I'm gonna have enough to take out the 25% down payment I had in that other property and move it into this and all the money we made. And so I'll probably have a good 35% down. I might even consider putting the money into 2 properties on the exchange, because you can do that as well. But we're gonna go take a peek at this property, and as I'm going through it, I'm just gonna show you what I would look for in just a general walkthrough. If this goes well, I'm still gonna come back and do a full-on inspection, but I wanna show you the things that I'm looking for. And I've already got this property locked down, and I know a lot of people are wondering, why would you lock it down before looking at it? That's what I'm gonna do all day. If the numbers work, I know they're 2-bedroom apartments, I know where the numbers are at and where they should be, and so I'll always lock those down. And then if I look at it and it's total garbage, then I don't have to keep going through the process. I can bail because everything's dependent on an inspection. But if I look through and everything looks good to me, I'm still going to pay an inspector to go through it before I end up closing on it. So we're just gonna show you kind of what I look for in a general walkthrough. And I actually just pulled up, so I'll kind of show you this place here. All right, so this is the fourplex that I'm looking at, and they've actually taken great care of it. I mean, other than a couple weeds up in this rock or bark bed, it's got great landscape. Everything looks super clean. I can't see the roof, but it's actually got a metal roof. But this is actually one of the things that I really want to make sure is good. It's one of the things that I can figure out early without an inspector, is just how old is the roof, how good a shape is it in. So we're gonna walk across the street here and see if we can get a look. Now, to me, that roof looks awesome. I'm not gonna be able to get up there, and I'll make sure my inspector takes a peek, but that roof looks really good, and I love metal roofs. This is the property that I didn't go through with, and honestly, I might be regretting it a little bit with where the market's going. These are both getting about a 10% cash-on-cash return with where I think rents can be. And at the time, that was just pushing it a little too close for me, but I definitely regret not pulling the trigger on that one. That being said, now this one is still available, and I'm going to be able to go through with it so that I can use it for that 1031 exchange, where if I would have bought them earlier, I wouldn't have been able to do that. But we're just gonna walk in back here and take a quick look. As you can see, one of the bummers about this unit is parking is out back, but it doesn't have a sidewalk. That was one nice thing about this newer one. And in back, you can see they did finish the roof on the garages as well. And they each have a 1-car garage. The only other bummer about this one is that those steps are probably gonna need some work in the near future, just because they're looking old. I might have to check to see If it's something that's still gonna be, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do a ton. I mean, eventually I'm just gonna have to change these. I'm also loving the garages because that's gonna help me get much higher rents than if you don't have them in this neighborhood that we're in. Also, you're looking to this side and to this side. I've got very clean properties on both sides, which is awesome. The yard is very well maintained. So on the outside, I'm not seeing anything that I'm super worried about other than those stairs. Looks like I've got a little extra storage over here. We'll go in the back and take a look at the garages. Now, all of this siding is actually looking in pretty good shape to me. I'm just gonna look to see if there's any major wear and tear or anything that I should be nervous about. So, oh, that's a bum deal. I just stepped in dog poop. That sucks. And that is why you wear old clothes and old shoes when walking through properties, not just because of dog poop, but a lot of times you're gonna run into smoky apartments, stinky apartments, gross apartments. So come prepared. Don't come in your new Adidas shoes. So here's a look at the garage. They're actually in really good shape. I think this one's gonna work out great, other than the freaking dog poo on my shoe. So you also can see that they've got the rain gutters on. It looks like they're pretty well done. Shooting off the streams to the side, but don't really care out here. All right. So far so good. I'm really liking what I'm seeing on the outside, other than these stairs that I'm gonna wanna talk to an inspector about. Because I don't know everything, and especially with this, I don't know how big of an issue those are gonna be. So I'm gonna wanna figure that out, make sure I can do something so that one, they're safe, and two, so that it's not gonna be some major expense that's super soon. But I am happy that the biggest expense I'm looking for on the outside, between the roof and the siding, everything is looking really good to me. Washer and dryer. And this is gonna be awesome because you make money off the washer and dryer, but I'm gonna be checking the units to see if there's room to put a washer and dryer in, because I'll make much more on rents if I can get washer and dryer in each unit. You just finished the carpet on this one, huh?
Yeah, we just put a new carpet on this one.
Awesome. I'm just gonna leave this right shoe outside just in case I don't want to track in. Darn it. So I'm just gonna walk you through all of the things that I look at when I'm going through one of these properties. First off, I wanna check the walls, make sure that nothing's looking super crooked or out of whack. I'm checking the ceiling for any cracks or anything that might cause serious problems. And I'm feeling the floors with my feet. I wanna make sure that I'm not feeling anything that feels like there are big dips or any sinking or movement. And a lot of times you can see that with the cracks. Now looking at this, everything is looking super clean. Up here, I'm gonna look and see opportunities with the lighting where I can change it to spruce things up. And so that's one thing that I could do. But overall, this property is just super clean. There's tons of closet space. The paint has been well kept. The carpet has just been redone. And so I don't have any major expenses that I need to take on. Now, there are little things I can do to spruce this up to get the rents up, but I'm just looking at the overall health of the property and everything's looking great. Inside the bathroom, as you can see, everything is very aged, but it's very well kept. I like to check and make sure that the heat is good on the water, make sure that all the lights are working, nothing's flickering or going off. And I'm also going to look and see the things that might be potential fixes moving forward. So this bathroom, that tile, I feel like can last forever and it's in great shape. You could even clean it up a little bit and it'd be better off. But the flooring in the bathroom and maybe the countertops or the wall paint are things that I'm looking at saying, all right, if I spruce this up for not a whole lot of money, will that up my rents? And in this property, I gotta be honest, I think I'm going to leave it just because I feel like the rents are low for what they should be. And everything is very clean. In the future, I'll be able to spruce them up, but they're looking good. Going through both the bedrooms, they are smaller bedrooms, but they're going to bring in good tenants. Everything's really clean. They're enough to have good beds in both rooms. And so I feel really good about the size of everything. I also didn't get a great chance to show in this video, but you want to check all the windows, make sure that you're not dealing with any cracks or any water buildup in between. And all these windows were good. In the kitchen, you can see that the flooring is very dated and that the countertops are dated, but everything is extremely clean. So I'm not gonna touch this. I know that I can rent it right where I want to, and I'm gonna be able to rent these for probably $50 to $100 more than they're currently getting rented for. I also love that outside you've got a quick way out to the garage. You've got a good view of the backyard. The backyard's in great shape. And so just from looking at this one unit, I would say everything's looking awesome. When I come back with the inspector, there are lots of other things you're going to check, but overall, I feel great about this unit. All right, the last thing that I like to do is go and drive the neighborhood. So we are going to go and just see what we've got close. So while we're driving the neighborhood, there are a couple quick things I wanted to hit on that I didn't get to talk about while we were inside the property. First off, you want to make sure that if there is someone in the unit that's been living there, you ask them as many questions as you can. Because when you're asking them questions, you're going to be able to get a lot better feel for the problems and issues in the property. Now, as we're driving by here, you can see a couple of these units look like multifamily units. Looks like that one's even for rent. I'm going to want to call and check out the rents on all of these properties. Now with me, I've kind of already checked out this market. I know where my rents are at, and I'm very confident I can get my rents up probably closer to the $75 to $100 from where they're at now. Now that makes a huge difference in your overall return. And so if you don't know the market you're investing in, when you do this drive around the property, you want to make sure that you're calling on those other units that are for rent so you can figure out where the going rate is, and if you can, get inside them so you get a better feel for it. Now, I love that I've got this school just right here up the street. I've also got a big park on this side where I actually played football games growing up. It's a great area here. On the other side, we're going to drive up and we might see the other park as well. But it's just important to remember that you're looking for something that you'd want to live in. It's really not rocket science. And if you can find an area that you would be comfortable with, your tenants are going to be comfortable as well. Now, as you can see over here, it's getting a little more sketchy, but I'm comfortable with how far away it is from my property. I'm also very comfortable with that street. And it's funny, I'm calling it my property. I do think I'm going to go through with this property. Everything felt good to me. I'm not seeing any major issues with the roof, with anything exterior. The windows are older, but there's nothing that I'm worried about. They're going to last, and the utilities aren't under my name with any of my tenants. And so I'm good to go. The only thing I didn't mention inside that has me a little nervous is it is the ceiling heating, which is a bummer. And when tenants know that, they're not going to want to jump on that because they know sometimes that that's going to mean they're paying a lot more per month. So I might consider putting cadets in, but as you can see, there are other multifamily units here. They're all super clean. You're right close to the golf course on this side. You've got the park back by the school. And then up here around the corner, you're going to see that I've got another park. And so overall, the only negative things I've seen are the stairs in the back, which are still going to last a while, and there are probably some things I can do to fix them up. And then the ceiling heating, everything else looks super clean. And I think a lot of people will come into a rental property and they'll say, man, I wouldn't live here. This is really dated. That's okay. As long as it's clean, people are going to walk in. They're going to get that fresh vibe because it's been really well taken care of. And that's what people are going to rent. And you've got to make sure you're not investing money into something that isn't going to make you more money, because I really feel that for the market, I'm going to be able to get top rents for these units. Now, I've got to check out the other units, and if they're not up to par, obviously I'm going to have to put some money into them. But that unit that we just looked at really is everything that you'd want to find. Now, as we're coming around the corner here, this is the property that I passed on.
I love this street. I mean, some of the homes are a little smaller, but you're going to be able to see that all of the yards are very well kept. You've got nicer cars in front of the homes, and overall, it just has a great vibe that I think is really going to bring in tenants and hold on to them, because that's our goal. Now, you can also see as we drive up the street here that there's a nice park, another great place for you to go if you've got kids. So on this property, I am feeling awesome about everything. I'm feeling great about where I can get my rents at. I'm feeling great about the area. And so if you want to know more about where your rents should be and how to run the numbers, I'm going to put a link up here in the top so that you can go and check that out and figure out exactly how to run the numbers on your own rental property. However, for this property, I'm going to pull the trigger and get my final inspection set up so that we can get things moving forward. If you enjoyed the video and it helped you, push the like button, subscribe to the channel, and grab my future videos. And I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much. Have a great day.